Hey my friends, so it is June and it has been 6 years. This is the 6th year since I'm going into, since Clint passed away. And, it comes with its ups and its downs. And I think the most important thing to remember if you've lost somebody is that everybody is different in how they grieve. It's as unique as a fingerprint. Nobody had that same relationship. Nobody had that same connection, and all the little nuances of you and your life and your emotions with that person. People can relate, but nobody truly understands. And, I just had our anniversary yesterday, and that was, it's tender. I mean, even though, let's be honest, it's going on, like I say, the 6th year. Clint passed away in 2015, and this year is 2021. And, we right now, Clint has 2 other brothers, and so his one brother lives in Chicago. So with COVID, we had tickets for spring break, April 2020. So we're using those now. Niska has to work, so she's not here, but the boys and I flew out to visit Tyson and his husband here in Chicago and be with them. So they knew that it was our anniversary, and, it's been good to just kind of talk about Clint and, let the boys be around their uncle that, has some of the same mannerisms, and to just feel that connection with that male figure, having lost their dad. Wyatt is now 10 and Gunnar is 14, almost 15. And I really think it's, it's good for their souls to be around, around their relatives that knew their dad. And it's a good feeling to hear them talk about him and feel comfortable to. And I always encourage that and welcome that with my children. This has really been a new experience for me as far as being in a really healthy relationship. I've been dating Todd for 1.5 years now. And it's he sent a really heartfelt text on my anniversary, and it was beautiful. If you follow my Instagram, I shared it to stories. I think I'm going to share it on as a post too, because it's just struck a chord with a lot of people of how supportive and loving you can be to people on days that are hard and tender. Pretty much it was, the gist of it, that Clint is always, him and I were magical, and we always will be together, and the combination of us will always be magical together, and that to close my eyes and breathe in for a solid minute and think of how much Clint adores me and how proud he is of me, and that Todd, was like, I love you, I love Clint, and I love us, and we were at Six Flags when I got the message, and I read it, and I handed it to my brother, right, which is Clint's brother, blood brother in real life, and handed the text to him, and he read it, and he started to cry, and I started to cry, and it was neat, and it was special, and it was such a good feeling to come from a really unhealthy, toxic relationship where Clint was a threat, Clint was competition. It created insecurities, and I don't think now, looking back, that partner just had insecurities, and it now being in a healthy relationship, I could see why I didn't get it, why I didn't understand, because I didn't feel threatened with the loss of that he had in his life, my previous partner, and I didn't get it or understand. And so his jealousies and insecurities. So it was really refreshing to just be in this relationship and feel that love and support from Todd, and how genuine and how beautiful and how natural it feels and is and should be. Anyway, it was a good day. It was awesome. It was a good feeling. And we were talking tonight at dinner. Posh and Tyson is Clint's brother. Pasha is his husband. And then Gunnar and Wyatt. And we just went and got sushi after we spent the day at the park. And it was good. I mean, they were talking about their dad and the day he passed away, and what they remember. And I mean, it was just very like, I feel like healing for them, and it felt good to be able to open up and share something so near and dear to their hearts, because they don't do it very often. But being around their uncles, I think it gave them permission to like kind of talk about him, because they know who he was. And I think that, especially for kids, it's hard when people don't know. And I guess for adults, right? When people don't know, haven't had a relationship with that person that's passed away, it's hard to, how do you start to explain that, right? Who they were. But when you're around people that knew them, it's easier to talk about them because they get it. So it's been good to see that today. The last couple of days being here, it's been good. And I tell them, like each tear is a drop of love. And it got really heavy. We were having sushi tonight, and it got really heavy. Wyatt brought up Clint's, the day he died. Wyatt was 4, and what he remembered. And, then you see Gunnar get choked up across the table, and Wyatt's, and Pasha and Tyson, tears start to roll. And I'm just like, hey, you guys, would you want to read a book or watch a movie if it was like, and they were born and their life was amazing, and they grew up and everything was easy, and then in the middle of their life everything was easy, and then at the end everything was easy, the end, and the boys giggled and they were like, no. And I'm like, okay, you guys are amazing. You guys have a beautiful story to live and a beautiful life to live, and you're going to be the best dads, and you're going to know how it feels and how lucky you are to be there for the people that you love. And this is your story, and you guys are the heroes, And it was fun to feel like the energy at the table change, and to feel them kind of take ownership of that thought that, even when life's imperfect, it's part of a beautiful story. And I guess that's what I wanted to share is, if you're dealing with hard in your life, whether it's grief or loss or disappointment, like, I get you, but you are on the path to a beautiful, amazing life. And think about all your favorite shows. There has to be adversity. There has to be problems. Without that, you're not going to have growth. And it's not pleasant. It's not fun. It's not fair. But that's why we're here on earth, right? God has a plan, and sometimes his plan, we're humans, and we are spirits inside, but we have human bodies, and there's, things that we're not impervious to as being humans. And that's what I've wrapped my mind around, to have helped me through, especially illnesses and death, and accidents and tragedies. It's like we're on earth we're souls experiencing a human experience, but we are divine. And I know that God is there for me. I know that he is there to cheer us on, and not to give us these challenges to see how hard he can make our life, but he's there in the in the background waiting for us to turn to him if we need him for strength, comfort, and guidance. You know, he knew that life was hard. We knew that life was going to be hard. But, you know, that's why we have our Savior that came to the earth that we can get strength from, and that he atoned not only for our sins, but our shortcomings and our weaknesses. And I learned a lot about the atonement when I was dealing with Clint and his terminal diagnosis, you know, especially on days where I felt like I don't have it in me, you know, to do this. You know, I can't keep going on. You know, when you're looking at the one you love the most, that's, you know, in essence, dying before your eyes, you know, it's hard to pretend like everything's okay every day. And I knew I ran out of my own gas, and I would pray, and then sometimes instantly, like, I knew I had strength from heaven. And there were times where, you know, I'd pray and nothing happened, and it still was hard. But there were those times I look back and I'm like, undeniably, like, I know God was there for me. I know he's here for me now. And I would never have had that, like, conviction, strength, belief that I'm being watched over and protected and helped through my hard times. And now that Clint's gone, like, I feel that even stronger. Like, he's there as well as God, and we can make it through. And we can show others that they can learn and grow through their hard, because that's what it's about. We're in these epic, amazing stories where we conquer, and conquer your story. Whatever your challenge is right now, you can make it through. I'm thinking of you. I love you. And I hope you have a good night from Chicago.